Oh yes, it's Friday's Marvel Contest of Champions news. Hopefully you've had a great week and looking forward to the weekend. Obviously sucks if people got to work over the weekend, and I've obviously got shit to do. But the fact is you can kick back, relax and watch this segment of Marvel Contest of Champions news because lots of stories going on, feedback on the whole kind of Champions requirements things for Act 6. Lots of different micro stories as well. Let's jump into it. Our first story begins with Marvel Insider. As you can see, we've got Nick Fury as well as Captain Marvel reward perks if you do want to grind out, and you do grind out Marvel Insider. I want to give a special thanks out to somebody last month sent me something from like Marvel Insider, like rewards, and I was like, well, I don't actually claim them myself because I can't, and Marvel Insider ban me each time that I try and claim points. So what I do is I have accounts just to like talk about stuff for the news. So whoever that was, thanks for sending me that. I really appreciate that. Next up, one of the most pressing stories at the moment is the ongoing discussion about why 4-stars are exempt from usage for champion requirements in Act 6. I'm sure this is going to be for the entirety of Act 6. So it's really disappointing for some people, others aren't too fussed about this. Many content creators have talked out about this and said whether or not they are for this or against this. But the fact is it does push people to have those 5 and 6 stars and create those synergy groups from those types of champions. And at the moment, the community does feel very negatively towards that. If you want to see a full rundown and a video on the subject, I've put it in the description below. It talks about Act 6 in general, as well as the champion requirements debate. In follow-up news, there has been an update, or well, lack of update. It's very hard to tell at the moment with Alliance Wars points. As you know, some alliances were affected, including my own, with not getting the full amount of Alliance Wars points for seasons, which obviously is really frustrating, and it happened last season. Hopefully it doesn't happen next season, but again, most problems seem to reoccur. And even though Cabam Virus has said that this indeed has been fixed, there's still people posting images and also giving feedback to say they haven't received those points. Next up, and looks like we've been invaded by Skrulls. Mike's a Skrull. So this is why this image makes sense. And especially if you're a member of the Banana Army or part of the Smut Squad, then of course you've joined that ranks. And obviously if you're in my live stream and you are a member, then you're able to use this Skrull emoji for a limited time only while we're invaded in this. I will then change it once the invasion is over. Calendars of Intel, which this needs to be sorted out ASAP because you will end up losing Intel by not claiming when you log into the game. And if you are still experiencing that issue, go to the link in the description. It will take you to this page, and there's also a link that takes you to troubleshoot the problem, but do raise a ticket with Kabam. Also make sure that your device is running the Android and iOS clients that are friendly with the game, because do realize that they have cut off supporting iOS 8 and 4.4 point something or other. Just check the link. Next up, and as you know, I'm a massive fan of MBCH. I use a lot of the stuff from the site in some of my videos. You should notice that from time to time, like class numberings, certain champions, arena history. The list goes on. There's some absolutely amazing helpful things on the website. Link is in the description. But also check out from time to time, they've got like a forum post, and Crash Test does update information as part of a kind of a change log, which I think is pretty cool. This information is very, very important to the community. So do make sure you go to MBCH and also check out this forum post. Next up, and it looks like we've got an issue with ghost phasing. So a lot of players experience at the moment, and what I've read so far, it seems to be very much located to Alliance Wars. So enemies that can end up doing a parry. When you're going up against the enemy, it's a case of when the champion is phasing, or maybe like 1 or 2 hits into it, the AI responds with a parry, which obviously isn't great, especially when you're thinking, I'm phasing here. A lot of people throwing around different theories, even using the N word, you know, Nuggeted. But let's face it, if there's going to be something of a change with the character, we'll probably have something that says change of description. The same way that things happened with Domino. A problem happened with the champion, and it was the case that description was changed. I hope that isn't the case, because I will have to have an opinion on this. That I don't really want to be so much of that guy and having a rant, but it does feel that if that does come about, I will have to go down that line. And I think a lot of people as well that are massive promoters of that champion for usage will feel exactly the same. Also, since the 5th of March, it looks like some people have experienced some login issues, in particular really on Android devices. If you're still experiencing issues, a lot of players have said trying different things, clearing data, reinstalling the app. Some people have even said instead of getting the game from the Play Store, get it from the website. Now, this could be still a problem. There have been other players that have been off for hours, in some cases days, because of this. And other players may be saying that they'd be using a operating system, like an Android operating system, that Kabam do not cover. Like I said in a couple news ago, don't forget to change your operating system, update if you can, and if you can't, then maybe it's time for a new device, unfortunately. Okay, on to our final story, and this is kind of a banning story. So somebody has been banned and they're trying to use Google Translate in order to let Kabam know what has happened. I'm not going to try and read this story, but I'm trying not to laugh at the same time. This is the story of Ka. I was in the bathhouse for 700 hours. Hello everyone. I've been playing for a very long time, and it's interesting that I was in charge of a banning. I'll ask you to consider my nickname. It's written in Russian. My nickname is Ka. Grounded Wisdom says, now I know things get lost in translation, but you were in the what? Yesterday passed an epic on a strip. The hedgehogs filled the arena with only 1 million. I have the task of Union 5 now, the alignment of the war. I have the discovery of crystals, for which ban? At this point, Ka is banned, but does recount on his times against Nick Fury. Here, he odds Kihilili with 1% on 100%. I watched Legacy stream, and on it, passed the story. What's the problem? Maybe due to the fact that I used the VPN. So here already tired of sanctions. There are video materials as I go through. Does it make sense for me to use third-party programs? And our story ends with Kabam simply saying they don't discuss banned accounts here on the forum. So there we have it. That was the final story for Marvel Contest of Champions news for Friday. No disrespect, it was just a case it was like a funny Google translation. We've all been there. I've tried to Google translate some stuff and it just comes out completely like gobbledygook to the other country or language that the person is speaking. So yeah, sympathize with that. It's always crap when those situations happen. Don't get the kind of the aspect of your banning, but hey ho, it's you've got to laugh at the situation. Maybe if you can't get back onto the game, then try another game for a little while until you get back in. But in any case, that has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. Make sure to drop into a live stream today at 1900 hours GMT, and we can chat about anything if you want, maybe even that story. But in any case, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.